All right, anyway, how y'all doing? What's going on? How's everything?
Good, man. Good. How was things going with you?
Oh, man, I've been misbehaving, getting paid to do it. So it feels good, man. It really does. It does. It does. It's a pleasure to have you both on here.
Are we like live right now?
Maybe. Why? Are you scared you going to get in esports
I
mode
was
on me or
just
something?
curious, bro. I needed to know. Like,
Okay, no,
I always
checking.
need to know.
I was just checking.
That's
You know,
all.
we actually are live. So since now you just spoiled that whole introduction, I'm going to just say, what up, and welcome to the Snake Pit Podcast. I'm going to adjust my camera because it makes my forehead look big. And anyway, no, other than that, it's good. It's good to have you both.
Maybe you just have a big forehead, dude. I got a big forehead. Look at it.
We got Davey with the cool scruff. You enjoying? You must be back in Canada. That's what that is.
Yeah, no, honestly, I totally forgot we were doing this, or I would have got a haircut. I had to put a hat on because my hair was just a disaster. Like,
So
not good, dude. Not good.
I actually want to have a conversation with you later on in the day about men's problems and haircuts. All right, I want to do this because this is a real thing, and I've been going through the crisis. As you can see, I have a non-existent hairline right now. So this is a real thing. This
Well,
is a real
I
discussion.
can't see it, but I'm sure
That's the
it's
problem.
true.
You can't see it. That's exactly the problem.
But I'm sure it's true.
Okay, fair enough. And Exotic, how you doing, man? So you're a man of mystery. We have no face to put to the name, which is fine. But you at least
Well, he's
have a
only
decent hairline,
17.
right?
We can't call him a man yet.
No, he's grown enough. I mean, if he has more facial hair than me. But how you been, man? How you joining the Splyce team? How's everything going for you? How you feeling? I guess last I checked, the note said you were 16, so your birthday must have passed recently. Is that right?
Yeah, it was in February.
Hey, happy birthday! You almost old enough to be sent to war. No, I'm just kidding. all right. No jokes. All right. But no, again, it's been fun to have you guys. I know you've been on the road. Definitely been doing a lot of Counter-Strike stuff. I see you guys have been playing in the last couple of weeks in what is it, EPL, right? ESL Pro League. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Why y'all sound so distraught about that, man? What the hell?
We lost to a team we should never lose to last night, and
Hey,
it's
it
just
happens.
really bad timing. No.
No. All right. Now you look
Just
like you about to
no.
cry. No. Let's get come on. Get it out your system. Let's talk about it.
cry.
So talk about it.
I got it all out of my system yet. I don't want to talk about
Okay,
it.
fair enough. All right, so
It's
we
done. It's over.
you're not gonna talk about it no more. Okay, that just means we need some practice, guys, and it's all good. So, all right, well,
Yeah.
so let's jump into. We're gonna get into the fun stuff a little bit later on. Like I said, let's get into the background of Davey. See, honestly, I wanted to do this piece because I mean, obviously, Davey, you and I have talked a lot before.
Yeah.
But I haven't dived too deep. So I'm finding out. I just found out recently because you know I had to do a little bit of my homework about this threes up thing. Tell me about that, bruh. I want to know about that.
Threes up?
Yeah, tell me about threes up. So I know you're. So what I'm bringing that up because that makes you an OG to the roster.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Since this, I've been. Well, I guess I've technically been back and forth, but I originally started on this current roster when it was in open.
Open, right?
Like 2014.
Gotcha.
And the roster was like me, Shroud was on the team.
Right.
And then like Buzza, Revolt, and I can't remember who our fifth was, but like way back when. And then they all left, and then I made an IM team with the current roster that it was me, Stanislaw.
Dang, you got these some OG names. Okay.
Well, Stanislaw is like one of my closest friends going back. Like he was like one of the first people I had on my Steam friends list. Like the first people I ever played Counter-Strike with like 8 years ago.
Okay, I did
So I've
not
known
know
him
that.
for a real long time. Yeah. He lives pretty close to me, like, you know, in terms of he's like 2 hours, 3 hours north of me, so he lives pretty close nearby. And yeah, so I made an IM rush with him, and then we won intermediate, and we played in the first season of ESEA Premier.
Right.
And then after that season, I got cut from the team, but then like a month later, I got brought back into the team.
Got you.
But it was like a different team, like because Stanislaw had left to go join like Sapphire Kelowna and Invite.
Yeah.
And then when he left, the team brought me back to replace him after he had left.
Right.
So it was like this weird sort of thing. And then we ended up winning. No, we got second that season of Premier, and we got promoted to we played in the first season of the ESL Pro League. And then we were playing, and that's when we signed with Threes Up.
Gotcha.
During that season. And then we signed with Threes Up, and the roster was me, Arya, Abe, Jason R, and Kiko, and that was the roster that would eventually become Splyce.
Okay. So the OG squad. I know.
Yeah.
Another thing that everybody brags about around here is that it was you, Davey, that got us one of those little cool skins in Counter-Strike. So shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Making us look super official. I love it. All right. So I mean, legacy is a big deal. I want to talk to you, Exotic. I want to know how you feel about stuff like that, and have you cemented anything? I mean, I know again we talked about it. You 17. I can't say that you're totally new to the game, but I mean, 'cause you've been around long enough to at least interact with some of these pro players. But what about you? When did you come in? How did you come in? And before you landed on Splyce, I want to know your story too.
I would say, I don't know. I've started maybe season like 19 or 20.
Right.
I just played like my first season of Open, and then from there I just went to main, and then from there I played like a season on like 3 different teams, and then I think I played 1 full season, and then went to Premier, and then I played half a season of Premier. No, I played 1 full season of Premier, and then a season and a half. I say that, and then CLG.
It's fine. Give him time. Come on, don't do this to him, Davey. I will dunk on you.
No, man, you don't understand. You don't understand, dude.
Fix my camera while you reply. Go ahead. Say you talk your dirt. Talk your dirt.
I forgot one part. I got relegated.
That's what I was waiting for, because we make fun of him.
Wait, what happened?
We make fun of him all the time because he played on a Premier team that got relegated from Premier.
Wow.
And then we picked him up. And then we picked him up to join our team. And we make fun of him constantly for it.
Well, luck of the draw. No. Okay. Defend yourself, Exotic. Go ahead. I'll give you a chance. I'll give you this chance. It's fine.
So I played 1 full season of Premier. We got relegated.
Yeah.
And this was CLG Academy, and then I ended up getting picked up for CLG Pro.
Right.
And just before anything happened with them, everything was getting situated. Everyone was ready to play with each other. It was like a trial period for a few weeks that everyone was seeing, like, if we want to stick with this 5 and everything. And then CLG, obviously as an org, disband, and then no one really knew what to do because, Kusta and me and myself were still under contract and stuff, so we didn't know what to do.
Right.
So at that point, I was just sitting around like, I don't know what to do. I thought that was my only chance because I'd never played pro before. I thought that was going to be, I was excited because that was going to be my first time playing pro, and start my career, and I was just like sitting there like, I don't know if I'm going to get another chance because I have no history in pro league. So I was just like, maybe this is it. I don't know. And then a few weeks later, I got the offer from Splyce, and then that's kind of where it started, just playing my first pro league season. Because before then, I was just playing with CLG. We were just getting ready before the season even started, and the roster was like me, Rix, Kusta, Ethan, and then we're all like ready to play and sign contract and everything, and then we find out that CLG is disbanding. So I didn't know if that was going to be like a turn and whether or not I was going to play pro or not, or have to stay in Premier and play another full season of Premier. But I got lucky, I guess.
All right, so my question,
Davey coming in, saving the young talent from the depths of despair.
Okay, so talk to
from
me.
The
I was gonna say
relegation.
So what role did you play exactly, Davey? Davey, this story is dope as hell. I don't you guys talk. I just want to hear the story. This is crazy. Okay. So what did you do, Davey?
Well, we were talking about it, and we were looking at, we needed to pick up we needed an opper, and we had Mitch on the team, and Mitch is a really good player, and I'm glad he got to play for Dignitas because he's a really good player, and he honestly didn't he didn't deserve to get replaced from the team, but at the same time, it was just like, we had to pick up an opper, and he really just got the short end of the stick, honestly. It wasn't because he was a bad player or had a bad attitude or anything like that. It was just like, we have to make a change, and this makes the most sense given the dynamic of that's really all it was.
Understood.
So, but I'm really glad he ended up getting picked up by Dignitas though, because he's a really good player, and actually he's a good friend of mine. So, and then we were looking at oppers, and I don't know how much actually I can go into, but pretty much Splyce always likes to go for like the like, I don't know, Marty really likes the idea of like getting the young talent and getting them and making them great and doing this whole thing. So when we brought up the idea of picking up xotic, he was like all for it, and everyone was really all for it. And I watched some of his demos with our analyst and with our coach, and we just decided that it made sense to do it.
All right, you're gonna laugh at this. Hold on, I'm gonna add to this because Exotic. This is real. All right, I'm gonna channel my inner Strenza Wilk. All right, my inner laser dude, and tell you exactly what he was saying in the office. It's like, yeah, we got this new guy, Exotic. I don't know what he looks like, but he's fucking awesome. This guy's hopping like crazy. You know, he gets extra active with his persona. He starts getting hyper. When I tell you, man, he was peaking. You'd have thought he had 10 things of caffeine and was running from a center popcorn or something like that. This man was all over the place. He was excited. So, it was dope to have. You know, he likes to talk about those young bucks. So,
he loves it.
Yeah, he was
it's like his favorite thing.
He was overly enthusiastic when you join a team Exotic. This is a really real thing. So, with that said, I gotta ask this question: how the hell are you in school Exotic at all? Like at high school or college at this point?
No, I was in high school. I'm not now. I finished early, but
hey, shout out to early boys. I'm an early boy too, so I salute you for that. All right, I salute you.
Yeah, so
Davey, look left out. Look at your face, bro. Why you make that face, Davey?
I didn't make any face. No one else can see my face besides you right now. So
I'm gonna snitch on you a little bit later.
He can't see the faces I'm making.
Exotic, he made a face. Anyway, go ahead, Exotic. I ain't mean to cut you off, bro.
No, you're good. But yeah, no, I was I would say I was in school for like the majority of playing with COG and all that, and then joining Splyce and everything. That's when I finished finally. Dope. And so I was still playing all the way up until freaking at least like a month and a half ago. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, did you have plans of going back to school, to university, and stuff like that? I have a story to attach to it, by the way, but I'm gonna do that in a second. So is that part of your plans, or are you just gonna hold off and pursue your CS career? I wouldn't blame you if you did now anyway. I mean, you see how esports is going, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
There's money in the bank. What you think? I'm good. Go ahead.
Oh man. No, like I definitely feel like, I mean, I eventually want to.
Right.
But obviously, like I'd rather just focus on Counter-Strike and do this whole thing, because I mean, how can you complain when you're doing something you love?
This is
making
true.
a living off of it. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
No, it's fine.
I'm holding off on it for now.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I guess I'm not. I'm playing angel's advocate. I don't even know what to call it in this situation. Don't look at me like that, Davey. Anyway,
you're just making up terms. You were saying
I don't need this from you, okay? I don't need this from you, Mr. Facial Expression. All right, so so I was going to school. I graduated early as well. I moved down to Atlanta to go to school. And Davey, I don't think you know this, but I come from the fighting game community.
Yeah.
And so the way it worked down there is, I mean, there was a big local tournament, and actually I didn't even know it was considered a major tournament at the time. It was just an event to me. It was called Final Round. There was so many people that showed up to this tournament that if you were good at a game and you placed, you became somewhat recognized. And so it was a big deal. A lot of major players showed up there. I was going to the Art Institute at the time, and all they did was talk trash in the lunchroom about how they were, or the break room about how they were good at fighting games. And then I was like, I'm good. And then they took me to this tournament. I played them, and then I ended up going to New York where I competed there, and I ended up collaborating with Samsung and World Cyber Games. And it got to the point where I was traveling so much, I just didn't have the time to go to classes. Like, I tried to schedule it on like Tuesday to Thursday, and it was like, okay, I can't do my Thursday classes anymore because usually the tournament is on Friday, right? So I got to travel Thursday. And then, I mean, I'm playing late because the games would run late, especially if you were in winter. So now I'm stuck and I can't get home till late Monday. And then I got to try to get the energy to go up Tuesday. I was like, man, I'm dropping out. Bump this. I moved to LA, which was stupid. Don't do that. Well, I mean, LA's
great. When I lived in LA, I liked it, but it's expensive to live there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like anytime you want to do anything, it takes so much longer to go anywhere because there's always traffic.
Yeah.
And there's so many people everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's just, I really like the weather, but like I come from the country, so like that whole city vibe it doesn't really do it for me.
David, you already said, first off, you hate the term game of houses. How do you feel about that environment itself, you being somebody in one?
Well, when we were in it, it was a bit of a unique experience because we didn't have any management there at the time. So it was just us.
Right.
It was just the players that were there. And we had one player on the team, Arya, who didn't actually live at the house full time, but he lived like 10 minutes away. Like he actually lived 10 minutes away because he had his wife and his
family.
He had a kid. So obviously we're not moving the whole family into the house, like that's not it's not going to happen. So we just got a house nearby to his to do that. So that was So we had 4 people that were living there full time.
Right.
None of their first languages were English besides mine.
Oh, boy.
2 of them had never lived on their own before.
Oh,
and the one guy who had lived on his own before was coming from Mongolia. So like huge culture shock, right, for everyone involved. And like the 2 Europeans that we had, Crucial and Asilian, like I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus here or talk shit.
Oh, here we go. It's getting juicy.
No, I'm really not. No, it's
cool.
really not getting that juicy. It's really not going to
Okay,
get that juicy. Like when I moved out for the first time when I was 18, I like the dishes just like piled up in my sink until I was literally out of dishes.
Right.
And I had to wash one so that I could use it, you know? Like when everybody moves out for the first time, that's what they're like.
Right.
Like it's just because they're just not used to that environment.
Gotcha.
So like they would, for example, they'd eat food and then they would like finish like 3/4 of it and then there'd be like 1/4 of it left on the plate and they would just like put it on the counter and just leave it there.
Okay.
And I'd be like, guys, we have a dishwasher. You take the dish, you rinse the food off of it. We had like a garburator, you know, like a
I don't even think they know how to spell that. You know what I'm saying,
dude? But it's just like all you have to do is put the food in there, press the button, it goes away.
Right.
Take the dish, put it in the dishwasher. I will run the dishwasher every time.
Right.
I promise. All you have to do is put it in there. And for some reason, that couldn't be done. Like, that was not something people were capable of. So like that was pretty frustrating. And then like our it's weird because when everybody lives together, and we weren't friends before this happened because it was a new team.
Right.
So everybody gets thrown into living together. Me and Arya were really close friends, but everyone else on the team wasn't.
Got you.
So we weren't friends before it happened. Everybody was in the house now living together. I was the only person living there where my first language was English. Admittedly, Asilian and Crucial both spoke English pretty well.
Yeah.
Crucial's fluent, like super fluent. Like his English is. Asilian was still really good, but not quite fluent. And then Tevna, or Mongolian, he really didn't speak great English at all.
Gotcha.
So it was just a really weird, unique dynamic in comparison to how the League of Legends teams are run. So I can't really. My experience was very unique compared to most people's, I think. But it definitely was not beneficial for us. Okay. Given the circumstances.
Okay, so
we were in.
So how do you guys go about building the chemistry amongst each other, especially now that, I mean, obviously new roster, most of the people you know already, but still you guys are kind of spread out. I mean, because I say that because even now it seems like you and Xotic have a relationship where, you know, there's something coming off of that, but this wasn't something that was built in close proximity, whereas like the League of Legends players, like you can start to see how they've developed and they come together. Like there's definitely a bromance going on in that house, right? Like these guys are the homies and they kick it with each other. They understand each other. They've gotten to know each other, but that's because they're always around each other. How did you build that with your team outside of that? And Xotic, you can chime in at any time as well on this one.
Yeah, I'll let him start. Go ahead, Zach.
He's giggling.
I'll let you start, bro.
This is case in point. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like we got the giggulations. You don't get that often from, you know what I'm saying, from outside.
You know, I think the two things that are like, so people will argue, you know, you don't have to be friends, you just have to be teammates. And that's true if everybody can be very professional about it, right? But in the gaming scene, like you were talking about earlier, people are a lot more immature and they can't just be professional about it a lot of the time. For sure. So because of that, I think it's important if you're dealing with teenagers or with you know, young adults, like I'm only 21, right? Right. Then I think it is important because people can't necessarily be professional about relationships all the time.
I feel like you're low-key throwing shots at Drone, by the way.
I'm not at all.
No, it's not a Drone. I'm picking on Drone.
That wasn't a shot at Drone, honestly. I mean, I personally, I love taking shots at Jerome, but I don't think that was one of them.
No. I'm only teasing because he used to be the youngest, and I feel now like Xotic's here, so now he's definitely feeling like, I'm the big brother now.
We talked about this like 2 days ago. Our coach was, because Drone was like going in on Xotic about something, trying to make fun of him. And then Zach was like, Drone, you're really like milking this whole not being the rookie thing anymore. Like, we're gonna have to start making fun of you a lot more to beat this out of you. But yeah, so I think it's really important that people are actually friends outside of the game on teams, only because of the fact that when you're dealing with so many kids, it's kind of hard for everyone to be professional. Yeah. So, and it's hard to teach somebody how to be professional too. Like you can tell someone you have to be professional about this, but if it's not wired in their brain, then they're not going to be very good at that. And then the other most important thing is you have to have respect for what your teammate's doing for the team.
Gotcha.
Like, because you can't look at a team and be like, well, this person's putting up all the best numbers, they're the best player, they know best. It doesn't work like that. Everyone has to have respect for what each individual does for the team.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing.
Truthfully,
just to any team.
To add into that, I feel like the fact that you guys build that relationship on and off the court, it just helps you guys develop ways to communicate with each other. I'm big on communication, especially when somebody's, and this is because I come from not just a competitive background but a creative background, and when you're in that position where like you get to know somebody, you can help channel into their persona, so you can help them. You can help them by providing the proper constructive criticism. It's like, okay, so if I present this situation or I present this idea to them, how are they going to take to it if I say it this way compared to this? You're not going to know that if you don't get to know the person. It just doesn't work that way. Right. And same with creativity, because people get sensitive, me included. And even still, like, I guess I have a little bit more of a luxury of detachment because I play, again, I keep saying it and I'll say it again, fighting games, solo game, right? I don't have teammates in that sense. I have peers who I compete against. And, depending on how I feel about their caliber of skill, I might take their advice or reject it, right? I mean, that's old dosh. Like, new dosh don't do that. That's a lot of D's there, whatever. Anyway, so what was again?
So what do you think, Zach?
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, what do I think? I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's good to have like the personal relationship, only because you understand the person more, obviously.
For sure.
But like how you're saying, like you don't know whether or not they're gonna take the criticism like in a personal way. You know what I'm saying? So like if you know the person, like obviously personally more, like have that relationship, then you understand them more and you know what's gonna like piss them off or not. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't know, that's good, but it's also good in the fact that you understand them more. So like you have that built-in communication, like you understand the person more without having to communicate, if that makes sense. Like I don't know what the term is for that, but that's just my opinion. So
no, that's honestly the best word for that is chemistry. But it sounds like you guys got a lot of it, and I'm assuming that I guess the same could be said for Xotic, for you and Semphis and Roka as well, right? Like you get to communicate with them and kind of be on that same level with them too, or do you hear from them as much as Davey? I guess I should ask that question.
Do I hear from them as much?
Yeah,
as
like
Davey?
Do you communicate with them as much as? I guess the question I'm asking is, who would you consider the biggest of the big brothers? I had to ask that question. You see that?
Be careful what you say here. You don't want to call anybody fat.
Oh man.
See, you just did to him? No, I'm gonna save you, Xotic.
I got
you. I'm gonna save you here. It's fine. All of them.
Right,
we'll just say that. All of them except Drone. Drone, you're gonna have to hold that. You a little brother forever, Drone. All right. I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna do that to you guys. All right. So I guess in a sense, I've crushed your dream, Xotic, of a gamer house, right? Or what would you call it? Because you hate that term, Davey. What would you call this?
A house. Why don't you just call it a house? Say they're all living together. Why do you have to say a gamer house? Like, why can't you just say, yeah, they're all living in a house together? Like, why does it have to be a gamer house?
Can it be?
It's a damn house.
No,
yeah, it's just a house, man.
It's gotta have something. You right too.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to have anything. It can just be a house.
No, but I'm bougie, so it's gotta have some kind of kick to it, man. It's gotta be like a villa. No, it's the villa. I call it the villa. How about that? Sounds good.
All right.
See?
Yeah,
there you go. All right,
that.
anyway, you guys get sick of my jokes. I'm sick of you too. It's fine. No, I'm kidding. All right. Well, I want to talk real fast about. I heard word on the street, Davies. You do a podcast. Is that true?
Yeah, very inconsistently. Don't laugh at that. Don't laugh at that. Yeah, no, it's definitely the greatest CS podcast on the internet.
Oh, okay. Talk your stuff. Go ahead.
I'm only saying that because I'm actually I'm friends with Thorin and Richard Lewis, and they do By the Numbers, which is a fantastic CS podcast.
Richard Lewis was handing, bruh, punk.
And so yeah, no, it's pretty funny. But they do it they're much more consistent and they do a way better job than we do. But ours is unique because it's all pro players that are the hosts. So I think it gives a unique insight that other podcasts don't. Because the whole thing is professional players.
Okay, so
we have guests on that aren't necessarily pro players. Like we've had Moses on, we've had Thorin on, we've probably had someone else on. That
you mean on Fire Moses?
I remember. Yeah.
Oh, hey, all right. Shout out to the All Fire crew. Semler, pick up your damn phone. Punk ass Semler.
I do that, but not very consistently because everyone's schedules are so hectic that it's hard because we have 4 people, like 4 hosts, right? So it's me, Semphis, FNS, and Daps, and with you combine all the schedules together, it's hard to find time that everybody is willing to sacrifice 2 hours of their very limited free time throughout the week, to record it. So it's not very easy.
You should make Xotic a co-host. I think that would be dope. Xotic, you need to be a co-host on this. As much as you be laughing, what do you get into on your free time? I want to get back to that podcast, by the way. But what do you get into on your free time? Go ahead, Xotic, Mr. Laughing.
What do I do on my free time?
Yeah, he probably just play Fortnite. That's what it is.
No, he doesn't.
Counter-Strike only player, bro.
I
play only Counter-Strike.
Only CS.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the only game you've ever played.
He says he's the best Fortnite player ever, but he never plays with me.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I saw Travis Scott last night, man. He was kind of going off, all right? I'm just saying.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I played Fortnite and I just won every game, so I just never played again. You know what I'm saying?
This is what you get with this kid, dude. This is what you get with this kid.
These young bucks, boy, I tell you, Lord have mercy. Just get in, get a little bit of wood and a sniper rifle, and all of a sudden they think they Jonathan Rambo. Lord have mercy. Okay, that's funny.
I mean, Fortnite is fun. I played it a lot with my friends, but like I don't play it often. I haven't played in forever, but I pretty much only play Counter-Strike. But like outside Counter-Strike, man, you got everything going on.
Gotcha. I like how you trying to keep that on the low, right?
Skateboarder over here.
Oh yeah, Brony Hawk over here. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, Brony Hawk.
Got you. That's good.
Yeah, nah, just I don't know. I mean, I used to be super big in like boxing and skateboarding and that sort of stuff.
That's actually a unique combination, literally, like boxing and skateboard. I mean, both of them will keep you lightweight intentionally, but why? So are you into just athletics in general, which is why you kind of diversified yourself and bounced around? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty much. I mean, I was boxing ever since I was like 7, so that's like a huge part of my childhood was just boxing. Because I had obviously like video games and stuff to play, but like I was just huge in sports and stuff, but in boxing specifically, but obviously later on in life you get older and
you can't say that at 17, bro. Don't do that. Come on, man. He said you get older. Somebody clip that.
Older.
Clip that. That's a clip. Oh Lord have mercy.
You get older, you grow up. It's just you move on from the young childish things, Wait till you're 22, your back starts to go out. Lord have mercy.
No, but I have to say, just real fast, I'm gonna add on, Davey. I'm becoming a big fan of this Splyce roster because all of us are just into athletics too. I bring up Odawamne. He used to be a swimmer, right? I know you snowboard, right, Davey? You still snowboard?
Yeah, I snowboard. Yeah.
All right. Me and Semphis, we are definitely bodybuilding junkie. Although I like my calisthenics and he likes to eat steaks, but we'll get into that later. And then I find out that you do boxing and stuff too. So that dang, yo, you know what? I feel like all of us put together could challenge KSI to a fight, but we'll get into that later as well. Anyway, Xotic, go ahead. Continue with what you were saying. I apologize.
No, you're fine. But yeah, no, I mean, I was just huge into athletic stuff, and skateboarding was a big thing that I was trying to do as well. And I've been doing that ever since I was, God knows how old I was. I was on a skateboard when I was like 4 or 5, and I've been doing that for years. So.
Dang.
It's just something I enjoyed doing because all my friends, we just get together after school and just skate like the local stores and stuff that had, big stair sets and stuff. We just skate up there.
He's got some videos he could show you.
Yo, first off, I need those videos. Second of all, Davey, we got to take him on a do tour with us. We got to do it now.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. This is got to. Okay, so.
Is he old enough to go?
Oh, good question. If he is.
I kind of said it as a joke, but if that
no, seriously,
actually,
if he's old, if that's a thing,
because I don't know how old you have to be to get into Do Tour.
Yo, I know whoever's listening.
I don't even know what that is.
All right, I'm a school.
Oh, he's not invited. He's not invited.
No, we gonna school him. We gotta initiate him because he's new to this. He's new on the block. You know what I'm saying? This is a big deal.
You can initiate a 17-year-old, Shidosha. We've been talking about this.
You ain't okay, whatever, man. I'm done with you. You seem to get sick on a lot of adventures. Did you get sick in Malaysia as well?
Dude, I have. I don't remember.
All right, we'll talk about that in a second. I don't know. Oh, sorry, Xotic. I do it. Am I even saying your name right? I keep saying Xotic because you spelled it with an S. Yeah. X. Or was it Xotic?
Yeah,
no, it's supposed to be exotic. We just say Xotic though.
Okay.
Because he doesn't like it as much.
I'm calling you Xotic because you don't like it as much. because that's part of the initiation. You haven't traveled out of the country and stuff like that just yet, right?
No, I haven't.
Let's make a fantasy call for you. I know you get to watch events on I Am Katowice, which I probably said wrong. I know you get to see. Like,
that's actually pretty good.
Is it? All right. I've been hanging out with Till Werderman.
Yeah. He'll tell you.
Is it? What is it? Kata what? Say it.
You said it. It's like it's Katowice. Like it's
Katowice.
like a TZ almost. Yeah, exactly.
Katowice.
It's kind of like a weird way the Polish people.
I'm from the hood. I was saying Katowice the whole time and getting roasted for it.
Dude,
bruh.
people used to say Katowice. I was like, that's not it, man. That's not it.
Okay, so dream spot that you could go to if possible. Where would you go, Xotic? Talk to me here.
To play an event or just to travel to?
Both.
Okay.
Dubai.
There you go.
Dubai.
Yeah.
Okay, and why?
Dubai.
Bars.
You said and why?
And why?
Why would I want to go there?
Yeah.
Man, they got Lambos everywhere.
Hey, okay. I like this guy already.
They got freaking the Burj Khalifa. Like, I don't know, man. That place looks freaking beautiful. My brother's been there, and I've always wanted to go.
Have you driven a Lamborghini
taking
yet?
Pictures. I own one. No, I'm kidding.
I'm about to say,
No, I'm kidding.
Let me find out. Good at Fortnite, owns a Lamborghini. What are you, ninja? All right, stop. Everybody just relax here. Okay.
But my brother's been there like God knows how many times.
Okay.
He does a lot of overseas work, but he just takes pictures and videos and he always sends them to me, and I'm like, that's freaking awesome. Like, I'd love to be there. There's just so much to do there, like the jet skiing and like what's the other one called? You know, the like waterboarding.
Yeah.
Wakeboarding.
Yeah, wakeboarding and waterboarding or whatever the hell it is.
Well, waterboarding's a little
No, don't say
no.
Well, changing the subject. All right, listen, you guys are gonna get me fired. Just kidding. Go ahead.
You know the ones where the water just shoots out the bottom of it? And you're
Yeah.
like, I don't know what that one's called. I thought that was waterboarding. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, my brother went to go do that, and like that just looked like so much fun, and that place is freaking beautiful. So I definitely want to go there.
That's on my list as well. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm glad you said that. And then that's for just visiting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what about competition? What event would you like to get to if you had a chance?
Oh man, I have no idea. If there's an event in Dubai, that'd be pretty sweet too.
I mean, if you play Super
I
Smash
am
Brothers.
Sydney.
Oh, right.
Is it actually
no,
in
that's
Dubai?
Australia, isn't it?
That's Australia, I know, but that's the event that I'd want to go to. If I
Oh, you
qualify
want to
for
do
an event.
I Am Sydney? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That would be dope. Cause then I could take a vacation. If y'all go there, I could take my little. I get like a little time off and stuff.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, they
you know
fly you out to
yeah,
Sydney, dude.
Yeah, so qualify. Goddammit. Stop playing. I need that trip. All right, I have a habit of doing that. Podcast. How often do you talk about current events in CS:GO and all of that other stuff? Because you said it's you and a bunch of pro players, right?
Yeah. Well, whenever we do it, we just talk about whatever's happened since the time of the last one.
Oh, okay.
And
So it's like a recap
that's just
update
pretty
kind of
much it.
style. I see
Yeah.
that.
It's just fun. It's pretty much like just a shoot the shit kind of thing. Like there's no real like organization to it. There's not like a main host or anything.
Right.
We all just kind of get into a Skype call and we just talk about stuff for like 2 hours.
Hey, that's how you do a podcast.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a pretty good idea.
Hey, no, for real, that's true. And I'm bringing it up because I don't know. I always try to get, truthfully, as of lately, I've been trying to stay up to date with everything going on in Counter-Strike, especially after Cloud9. You remember that whole them winning a major.
Well, a good podcast you'd want to check out them would be By the Numbers. Numbers. It's Richard Lewis and Thorin that do it.
How are you not gonna? No! Stop! Goddammit! How are you not gonna tell me the name of your podcast and pip your stuff?
Well, my
out?
podcast is Peaker's Advantage, but
there we go.
We don't do it frequently. Like the last one was like a month and a half ago.
It's your podcast. We are here to pimp your stuff first. All right.
Okay. Well, my podcast is awesome, and everyone should go watch it.
There you go.
But if you're trying to keep up to date with current events happening in CS:GO, By the Numbers would be a better podcast for you at the moment.
Xotic, I see why you laugh at this guy. I see it now.
Yeah.
I got like I'm here with you. Like see, oh my god, this dude said, "Yo, I can do a podcast. But you should check this other guy out, bruh." Yo,
listen, I'm on your side, Shidosha. I'm on your side here. I'm not on my side. I'm on your side. And you said that you want to follow stuff that's up to date with the CS:GO community. That would be the best one for you. I'm looking out for you right now.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna be on your side to pimp you out. Well, I'm hoping there are from yourself at least. What are your expectations now that you've finally done it? Because this is going back to what you said earlier about, looking for a team and finally being signed. What are your expectations from yourself now that you've cleared that hurdle? You're on the circuit. You have a chance to participate and do all of these things. What's next for you? What are you looking forward to doing?
Oh man, just playing at events and I don't know, just making a bigger name for myself.
Okay. What would you say your plan is for getting a bigger name for yourself? Because I got your back. That's what I'm here for. I help names get bigger, like my head.
I don't know, man.
What?
Shut up. Xotic is talking. Don't interrupt him. All right.
Sorry, man. My bad.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like just playing at events, like that's probably the biggest way for me to get more, fan base and get my name out there for sure.
Good to know.
And obviously doing well.
Good to know.
I mean,
okay, that's good. I got plans for you. I do. That's good. All right.
Kind of creepy.
Man, shut up. All right. Anyway, I'm sick of both of you right now. We're wrapping up. We're coming up on I think the 1 hour mark or something like that. But before we rock out of here, I want to get some final thoughts from y'all on anything, just in general. So I want to talk real quick about. I want to go back to Fortnite. Did y'all see what was going on this past week on Fortnite and all of that other stuff? I don't mean to date.
Crazy,
I don't
man.
mean to date the podcast or anything like that. I'm just bringing it up because, look how far we've gotten. You know what I'm saying? Look at esports. Look at video games, and it's popularity.
Well, Fortnite's not really an esport.
No, exactly. That's why I had to take it back. So
Yeah.
it's like, dang. This is kind of the point that we're getting to. How far do you guys see yourselves going with this, based on where it is now and the things that have been happening recently? Because that's kind of a big deal. Like, just dang, Drake is playing Fortnite. Travis Scott, Juju. Oh my god, yo, that was a sick one. I don't know why Kim.com was there.
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Yeah,
he kind of ruined the vibe.
Yeah,
too. Like, he came in, starts yelling and belligerent. I was like, "What are you? Get out of here, man! We want to watch Ninja and Drake." No, what was so cool about that for me when I was watching it is like, I don't really buy into the whole like, oh, this is great for esports. I'm like, how? Explain to me, like
Right.
Fortnite isn't an esport.
It's not.
Why is Drake make esports better?
Agreed.
Like that doesn't to me that doesn't verify esports any more than they already were. Like esports
Right.
are already a huge thing, and just because Drake is playing a video game doesn't somehow make esports more relevant. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Like there's no direct correlation there in my opinion. But it was still really cool to watch, and it was really entertaining. And like when they were doing duos at the beginning, and they were just like gaming like bros, like that's what it felt like that vibe. And I was like, dude, this is sick. Like this is sweet.
Yes.
Like that was the coolest thing for me.
Okay.
I thought that was awesome.
What about you, Xotic?
Man, I don't know. It's one of those things where, a lot of people are like famous people. Most people don't think they play video games, whatever. But it's just
For sure.
it's just one of those things where, it's such a big thing now, and I don't know. And I know that Ninja had like a freaking absurd amount of like views,
600,000.
whatever.
Yeah.
Just from no, I mean just from himself, but like.
Oh, right.
Drake putting on that and like that's like a huge, viewership that comes from doesn't even have to be like obviously esports or like anything to do with video games because it's just like Drake is obviously in another department of career and
Yeah, he's a
all that
superstar,
stuff. So it's
for
like
sure.
yeah,
For
he's just a superstar bringing in viewers that maybe didn't even watch or know about all that stuff. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like Fortnite and all that. So he's just bringing in a lot of viewership, and I think that's cool because it's just like more people are starting to realize that it's not as like nerdy as it sounds. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Amen to that. Amen to that.
but yeah, no, I think that's super cool that he did that, and he definitely got Ninja a lot more viewers, and everyone doing that together is pretty sweet.
Yeah,
But it's cool to see him like outside because you see you see him person or like when you're watching him, you get that like personal vibe where he's just himself.
Right.
And he's away from his famous like you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I feel like that to me is pretty cool.
I felt like when I watched it, I wasn't watching Drake and Ninja. I was watching Tyler and Aubrey. That's what made it great. And I mean, they're both fans of each other, but that was kind of the core point that made me enjoy that moment so much. It was people having fun. Damn, like, so
exactly.
To bring it all together, because this is a great topic. I think one of the things that wasn't controversial, but it came up recently with the release of Black Panther, was Michael B. Jordan's love for anime. This was a big deal for me because I'm gonna just speak about it. Michael B. Jordan is black and attractive, right? And I'll speak on it. I'm cool with it. I'll speak on it. So there's a stigma behind how he's supposed to be and who he's supposed to be. And then you find out later that this dude has a tier list of his favorite characters in anime, and it's not just A1. You know, I watched 4 Kids TV. I know about Dragon Ball kind of nonsense. It was really deep and in depth, and they're like, yo, this dude is a nerd. Now there's this kind of perception of like, oh, who is this guy? And then there's people like me. I'm a nerd, right? I'm attractive. I'm gonna give myself that credit because I could do that. I'm Shadosha. Hey, I'm a narcissist. Don't you look at me like that. I'll bust your girl.
I'm not looking at you
like
you. Anything.
I was talking to Wheels. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
So, what's dope?
Like I'm on your side. I told you this earlier.
So I've always tilted my hat and gave a nod to where I came from, which is the hip hop and the anime culture. I'm big on the fact that you could be both. You could be a black nerd, and that's fun. Again, now let's put the color stuff aside. Here are these superstars. Gamers first, right? They're gamers first. I mean, you know them as they make this kind of music, they do all of this other stuff. But then you got Juju. He plays for Pittsburgh Steelers. He's a Ninja fan. He loves Ninja's gameplay. Here's Travis Scott. Here's Drake. Now Travis Scott has never heard of Ninja, but Drake heard of Ninja. And Drake followed, according to Kotaku, I'm gonna quote them, followed Ninja on Instagram and was like, bro, I love watching your clips. I can watch them all day. And then Ninja was like, yo, let's get some games in, bro. Let's just kick it. And then like the gamer in these people came out and said, let's do it. And what was captured and why that moment, in my opinion, was so amazing is because we finally saw it. The truth. Video games are a good time. Doesn't matter who's playing it. Doesn't matter skin color. Doesn't matter popularity. None of that stuff matters. It's just a good time. And then something like Fortnite works best because Drake was on PS4, Ninja was on computer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, the devs, like, I don't know if you know, like, the whole sort of backstory behind it, but pretty much Drake followed Ninja and DM'd him saying, like, hey, like, I like exactly what you said. I like your stuff. This is cool. And then Ninja's like, yo, let's play. And then the devs immediately hit up Ninja, like, yo, he plays on the PS4, you play on the PC, but we can make this work. Like, we can make it so you two can play together, even though he's on the PS4. Like we can actually cross-platform this so you guys can play. Like, we can, because obviously the Fortnite devs are like, yes, make this happen.
Shout outs to Big Nub for that. Yeah. Shout outs to Rackzilla, Arcidic. Those are the homies at Epic. Shout outs to them.
Oh, they make a great game. They're doing such a good job with it.
I love them. I know them since the Gears of War days. So for them to actually do this and then actually keep that, it was a bug at the time.
They are making such a great game.
They've been doing wonders, man. This game took off. It was a big deal. So that's dope. I'm glad it turned out that way, man. And,
happy for them.
So you guys are feeling the same way that I feel. You guys see this gaming stuff growing really big. Okay, that's good to know. I'm glad. Any closing thoughts before we wrap up? Honestly, I had a fun time. We just chatting and just chopping it up. And I miss you, Davey, goddammit.
I miss you too, man. Like, I wish we went to more events, but, we just don't. Because we don't qualify for them.
Yo, still don't break my heart, bro. Don't do that. No. Oh, my God. Zod, any closing thoughts for you? I'm going to cry talking to Davey. Damn, bro.
Well, it was fun talking.
That's what happens when you make a teenager give their own opinion.
Right. Come on, bro. We're going to put Jessica. We're going to put some hair on your little chest real soon. We got you covered, Exotic. All right? All right. With that said, look, I've been tormenting y'all for a long time. It was a fun talk. And damn, it was great catching up with y'all. So I don't know what event is next. I think you guys are still continuing your run on EPL, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to make sure these guys check that stuff
Hopefully we qualify for IEM Sydney.
You are going to qualify for IEM Sydney because I need that vacation, all right? All right. There we go. Beautiful. I love it. See, they're in agreement with me. All right. So with that said, guys, that is it for the podcast. Glad you guys had fun. There will be another Snake Pit soon. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.